Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Having the rise again this morning. Have to try and fix up my stomach again. So this morning I woke up to a very chilly 48 degrees, but it's supposed to be a lovely 75 degrees today. Maybe I'll work a little bit out in my garden. I don't know. It's hard to predict that. Mom's still sleeping, and I don't know what kind of shape she's going to be in today, or if it'll be too chilly for her to sit outside in the garden. We'll have to wait and see. So I had a really nice Labor Day weekend. I hope you did too. I hope it was peaceful and relaxing. We all need more peaceful and relaxing. Turn off the news and just find a happy place where you can have some peace and quiet and make yourself a nice cup of coffee or tea or a glass of wine, whatever your beverage of choice is, and just take a deep breath and let it all out and relax. We all need to do that more. The world is hustle, bustle, and always go, go, go. And we need to take some time to just chill. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with just sitting and staring into space. We don't always have to be making plans and, running here and running there. Sometimes just mindless sitting and looking at nature is just what the doctor ordered. So, anyway, do I have too much water in there? No, it's good. It's good. So, yeah, this is reminding me, though, that fall is coming and soon the leaves will be turning. My ex-husband and his wife and a friend of mine are going on a trip to New England on a bus tour, and they asked me if I wanted to come along. Well, I'm not too much into traveling these days. Not for any reason in particular, not that I'm afraid or anything, but it was quite pricey. It was almost $2,000 to go on the trip. It is for a week, which is nice, but maybe I'll go on a bus tour one of these days, like for a day trip. That might be nice, but going for a week is kind of out of the question for me because of the dogs. And yeah, my grandson could let them out and feed them and things, but they're not much into that. And sometimes they give him a hard time about going out. And then, of course, they'll pee in the house. So I don't want to come home to that either. So traveling when you have pets is a little bit difficult. I know when I was married to Tom, we went on a couple of vacations, and that didn't go so well with the dogs. It cost me $1,200 to send them to a boarder. At the time, my grandson wasn't living here, so I had to board them, and yeah, that was $1,200. That was almost as much as the trip cost. So, but, for me, it's worth it to have my animals because I would rather have them than be a world traveler at this point in my life. Another friend of mine asked me if I would be interested on going on a trip to see the Great Wall of China. Well, that was a definite no. So, anyway, cheers. I know a lot of people do love to travel when they retire, and I think that's great. If it's on your bucket list, then that's what you should do. I did a lot of traveling when I was younger. I've been to Europe 7 times. Of course, I was born there. I've been to the Bahamas several times on windjammer cruises, and, it was nice. My one significant other that I lived with for 9 years we were actually together for 15, we went on motorcycle trips, and that was fun. And then, of course, Tom had the boat. Well, he still has it, I assume. And we would go on boat trips, but just to the islands, to the Lake Erie Islands. And that was always nice. So I've traveled quite a bit. I went out to, what was it? The Grand Canyon with my parents when I was around 15, somewhere around there. And I've been, to the southern United States. I haven't been all the way out west to California. That would be a nice trip to go to and go on a train trip, maybe through the Napa Valley, something like that. I think that would be nice. I do like to travel by train, and one time when I went to Europe, I went with my aunt. Her husband was Serbian, and his family lived in a little town called Udovica in what was then Yugoslavia. And we took the train from Cologne all the way through the Swiss Alps. And it was a beautiful, beautiful, picturesque scenery trip. And we went all the way to where his family lived. And it was pretty primitive. They had an outhouse, and you would wash up with, a bowl and a pitcher of water. So, and I remember I was in their backyard for some reason, enjoying myself, and they had pigs. And the pigs decided they were going to run away, which unbeknownst to me, I guess they just were allowed to do that anyway. And so I was chasing the pigs, trying to get them to come back, and I was running down this little hill and twisted my ankle. And oh my God, did that hurt. It swelled up, and I didn't break it, but I still remember that was painful. So I was about 12 years old. Yeah, I was about 12 years old when that happened. So I never chased the pigs again. But yeah, that was an experience. But it was a beautiful country, and I enjoyed myself. My mom wasn't along on that trip. It was just my aunt, my cousin, and myself. So anyway, and for those of you, I don't even know, you're going to think I'm nutty, but for those of you who are believers, I remember my parents and my cousin and we were in Florida, and we were traveling across the Everglades. Well, back then anyway, I don't know how it is now, but it was pitch black. They didn't have street lights or anything. And I remember my cousin was asleep, my dad was driving. I can't remember if my mom was awake or not, but all of a sudden I'm looking up, and there's this ball of light. It was way in the distance. It looked like the headlight of a plane, but it wasn't. It was not. It was different, but that's about the size that it was. And it kind of hovered there, and all of a sudden it just did like a 90-degree angle, and it was gone. I mean, it was like that fast. It was there, and then it just traveled, and boom, it was gone. And back then, no plane traveled that fast. So if you believe or not believe, that was my encounter with seeing a UFO over the Florida Everglades. So anyway, enough of my stories. I'm going to go enjoy my Rise coffee beverage, and I will meet you over there at the budget book. Okay, back at the budget book. Well, yesterday I didn't spend any money Yay me. I took a bottle of wine over to my daughter's house, and we killed that. So that was nice. It was Moscato, which is my favorite, and it was a sparkling Moscato that I had gotten that was regularly $19 with $10 off. I got it from Heinen's, and it was like a bubbly Moscato, and it was good. It still isn't my favorite, though. Costco carried my favorite. It was Santos wine, and they don't carry it anymore, which makes me really sad. But there's also a Roscato that I like, which is like a red Moscato that I know they serve it at Olive Garden, but I can buy a bottle of that at Mark's for much, much cheaper. So I like to stock up on wine before the holidays, and I also like to keep it on hand for when I go places. I take it along as, you know, well, as a beverage to share. I don't drink a lot. In fact, maybe just during the holidays I'll have a couple glasses of wine. But I like to have it on hand because, family members like to drink it too. So that's one thing I do buy ahead is wine. And I do have some things in my Walmart cart that I need to order and have delivered. Since I did opt to have Walmart delivery this year, I figured for the winter it would be nice not to have to go out and buy whatever it is I need, so I just went for the delivery. And so that helps with the budget too, because then I don't shop around the store and see all, oh, that's nice, I'd like to have that, or I'd like to have that. So it actually saves me money in the long run when I shop that way, because I have certain things that I buy online at Walmart, and I buy those same things over and over, and those are the same things that I stock. So I just don't go out and buy food to stock, any old thing. I have certain things that I like that I restock over and over and over again. So that's how I do my shopping and my budgeting, and it's gotten me to a point where I really don't have to go shopping too often. I do have to, of course, shop for produce, but the rest of the stuff I pretty much have, or I'll pick up one or two extra of whatever it is that I use all the time. So anyway, that is how I handle my household expenses and my budgeting, and it's been working great for me, and it saves me a ton of money. So anyway, somebody was talking in the comments about the food bank and how I had gone to the food bank, which was a long time ago. And yeah, I went a couple times because I am low income. I qualify. But, I don't know. Sometimes people just get their hackles up and it's like, oh, you don't need that. But you know what? If you're trying to pay off your bills and do better, and you don't have the money and it's stretched thin for whatever reason, whether it's trying to pay your bills or trying to pay off a car or whatever your reason is, it's personal. So I would encourage you to go ahead and use the food bank. I mean, most of that food is donated, and if it goes bad, they just throw it in the trash. So the particular food bank that I went to is actually right down the street from me, and they just don't have a lot of vegetarian things there. And right now I don't need it anyway because I'm fully stocked in my freezer. But yeah, if I needed it, I would definitely go to the food bank again. And, people just need to stop with their nonsense of, oh, you don't need it, this and that. Come on. If you need it for whatever reason, we're all struggling nowadays to, pay for things and keep our house in order and try and maintain our bills and so don't let people like that deter you from going to the food bank. So anyway, that's my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. I don't care. But that's what I think. If you need it, find the resources you need and use them. Even people that need to have more social interaction, reach out to your community centers and see what they have available for you as far as maybe meeting new people. Because as we get older, we all lose people in our lives, and being lonely is not a fun thing. Even being very careful, having some online friends, maybe they live at a distance. I mean, I have all you guys that I consider my friends. So, and that's a big social connection for me. So, reach out to people. And most people are more than willing to have a friendship with you. Just be careful, if you're doing anything online, just be careful with that because there's a lot of shysters out there too. So, and you don't want to get caught up in something like that. Never send anybody money, never give them real personal information, and just be careful. So, okay, that's it for my budget book talk for today. Well, good morning. I'm still drinking my coffee. Today I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of you guys, actually. My friends here on YouTube in our community. And I just wanted to talk about how inspired I am by some of the things that I've been reading in the comments that you've been doing. And I want to talk a little bit about being stuck. A lot of us, we feel like we're stuck. We're stuck where we are. So you're not stuck unless you yourself stick you in the place where you already are. You have the option to move forward, or you have the option to stay put where you already are. So whatever you need to do, if you feel like you're stuck in a situation, take a little step, one little step at a time. Head somewhere else so that you aren't so disheartened and you don't feel like you can't go anywhere else. Even small steps help get you somewhere to where you actually want to go. So I've been reading this book, An Inspirational Quote a Day, and it's by M. Prefontaine. And I came across, it says, this is a book of some of the greatest inspirational quotations to help motivate the reader to be more positive about life and gain greater success and happiness in their lives as a result. So I went to a senior center and they were having a little show, and I got this really beautiful bookmarker. It's handmade. It's like a watercolor print painting, and it's got the little colors that go with. I thought that was so pretty, and it's from the Farrow Foundation here in our area somewhere. I'd never heard of it before. But anyway, I wanted to read a quote out of this book, and it says, confidence comes not from always being right, but not fearing to be wrong. Confident people take risk, take a chance, make a change, and make breakthrough. Confidence is the foundation of great achievement. And that was a quote by Anil Sinha. So that got me to thinking, and some of you really are so inspirational. In your senior years, you've totally started to change your lives. You've sold your houses. You've moved into a brand new place. You've taken the initiative to make a positive change in your life. You found the resources that you needed, whether that is, finding a place that will help you sell your furniture that you can't use anymore, or having somebody to help you move to a smaller place. It's just very inspirational reading what some of you are doing with your lives to go towards happiness and to step out of your past and into your future. Because even though we're getting older, hopefully most of us still have a future, and we want to work towards that. And it is a lot of work sometimes. It really, really is. And I know some of you friends out there, you're older than I am. So you kind of keep me going. It's like, well, if so-and-so can do it, then I probably can do it too. So you guys motivate me so much. And I'm so blessed to have you as my friends. And I do consider you my friends. And I know some of you have said how lonesome it is, to be, if you don't have family and you don't have friends. And that's why I said try and reach out to other people. There's so many good people in this world that want to help other people, to help them make themselves a better life, so it's a blessing, really. The internet has its faults, that's for sure. Lots of nefarious things happen, on the internet, but it's also a blessing in a lot of ways. It connects you to resources that you didn't even know were out there. If you have a question about something, you can ask your Google phone, and it'll usually give you answers, or it'll give you ideas of how to proceed. YouTube, if there's something that you need to know how to do, there's so many good creators on YouTube that you can use as a resource and maybe get some ideas. There's other older women on YouTube that have their own story to tell, and to help us along in our journey as we age. And you don't have to be an older person. There's a lot of young people on YouTube that have families and that share how they stretch their money, or how they fix up their homes, or or some of the older people, how they've transitioned from one phase of their life to another phase of their life. And that's one of my goals here on YouTube, is to share some of my experiences in my transition from my old life to a newer life, even though I'm not moving into a tiny house, or I'm not moving into another house. Not to say that may not happen someday, but I'm trying to fix things in my house so that I'll be able to age in place. And I'm doing that now. I'll be 75 on September 11th. Yes, 911. We'll never forget that day. But while I still can, I'm trying to set everything up so that I can age in place. Now, with some of my things, I know I still have a lot of things, and, that's a personal decision, however much you want to have. But as I age, it's not going to take too much of an effort to walk around with a box and say, I really don't want to dust this anymore. Thank you for giving me pleasure when I could enjoy you, but I don't enjoy dusting you, so I'm going to put you in the box. And I'm going to call the donation people, and they'll come and pick it up. So that for me is an ongoing process that I'll probably continue to do over and over again. And as I age, I'll figure it out. And but the big things, I want to get the big things taken care of. Like my garden. Can I set it up? Is it possible to set it up so that I can continue to enjoy nature and be out there? And for some people, my garden might be a little much, but for me, it's perfect. I mean, sometimes I watch Teen Cottage, and she started out with kind of a bare slate, and she's planted 1,000 trees and all these flowers and beautiful. It's a beautiful garden, and that might be too much for some people. Some people like the I have a bush here and I have a bush there, and and maybe some flowers in the middle, and that's fine too. That's great. I like a secret garden. That's what I like. I like to be surrounded by greenery and plants and flowers, and just kind of be cocooned into my own garden. And my house is kind of like, I like that feeling, the cocoon kind of feeling. I like the little colored mini lights on at night. I like the ambiance it gives. I like looking at my things that I have that I still enjoy. And like I said, at some point I'll go around walking with a Amazon box and stick stuff in there and ship it on to somebody else. But some of you have been such an inspiration to me. You've sold your houses, you've sold your furniture, you've downsized everything and moved into a community where you can make new friends. So that might be an option for people that are lonely. Maybe moving into some senior housing if you can afford it, or some other community where you can have more contact with people, and or call the senior bus. Hi, I need a ride. I want to go to the senior center today. I love the senior center in Fairview Park. That's where I have my taxes done every year. I mean, at this point, I don't go there very often, but the few times I've been there, I really enjoyed it, and I didn't think I would. It's like, that's for old people. But, in here, all of us that are getting elderly, we are not old people, not in here. The body says, yeah, you're kidding yourself. But, yeah, so, I mean, I'm really, really inspired by some of your stories and how you've moved on from great loss of a husband, or, a partner, or whatever it is. And your life was totally turned upside down. And, you've worked your way through it, and now you're moving on to being happy. So, kudos to you. Hats off to you. You know who you are. I don't want to name names, but, you're very active in the comments, and I love that. Reach out to some of the people in the comments, and you can strike up a friendship with them. I know some of you talk to each other quite a bit, and I think we all enjoy a little input to our comments. So please don't be shy, reach out. You can start your own YouTube channel, you know, if you want to make some friends. Tell your stories. As we get older, we all have stories, you know, and you might think, oh, nobody wants to hear my story. But you'll be surprised how many people like to sit and talk with elderly people. I have people on this channel that are younger, and they enjoy the stories. So, all right, well, I think Mom's starting to get up, so I'm going to go hang out with her a little bit, which I'm still very grateful that I can do. So, all right, my friends, I really need to read more out of these inspirational books. This one is very good, very nice. This one I got, I can't remember where I got it, but it's Whatever You Do, Be Happy. And that one is by Julia DeLitt. So I like reading inspirational books. And then I also have by Cindy Spiegel, A Year of Positive Thinking. That's a very nice book. And so I'll be reading inspirational things out of that. And I also have an inspirational gardening book that one of my viewers sent me that I need to take out and do some reading out of that, because I need some inspiration to keep going with my garden project. So, all right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. Reach out. God helps those who help themselves. So, and keep the faith. Keep your faith in God, and give your problems to the Lord, and He'll guide you right every single time. So, okay, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share, and thanks for watching.